The true Stoic doesn't fear death. They understand it as the definitive boundary, the ultimate expression of time's unyielding nature. It is the moment when the opportunity for conscious choice within time ceases. Therefore, every preceding moment becomes pregnant with meaning, an urgent call to live, to act, to be conscious now. This isn't just philosophical, it's a blueprint for escaping temporal slavery. René Descartes, The Consciousness Trap and the Fabric of Reality. Cogito, ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. But what if the am is inextricably bound to the think? And what if the think is the very creator of the time we perceive? Descartes plunged into radical doubt, stripping away sensory illusions, external authorities, even the existence of a body, until he found the undeniable core, the thinking self. And in that thinking, time emerges. This isn't just about subjective perception. This is about time as a construct of consciousness itself. Consider the specious present, the psychological phenomenon where our now isn't an infinitesimal point, but a stretched duration, a brief, vibrating slice of past, present, and future that our consciousness stitches together into a coherent experience. If your consciousness is the loom, then time is the thread it weaves. Without the loom, does the thread even exist in the same way? This is where it gets existentially dangerous. What if external reality, as we perceive it, is not merely experienced in time, but generated by our consciousness through the lens of time? What if the universe, in its ultimate objective form, is atemporal, and our minds project the illusion of linear progression to make sense of the overwhelming, simultaneous totality of existence? Your consciousness isn't merely trapped in time, it might be the very prison guard of time, locking you into a linear narrative. The eye that thinks is not just witnessing the clock, it is, in a profound sense, being the clock for its own perceived reality. This opens up a terrifying possibility. If you could truly transcend linear thought, could you transcend time itself? Or would such a transcendence be a form of non-existence, a dissolution back into an atemporal void? The ultra-deep, controversial revelation, the moral imperative of conscious existence. This fusion of Stoic immediacy and Cartesian subjective time leads to the most provocative, most unsettling conclusion. The ultimate measure of your existence is not its duration, but the depth and quality of your conscious engagement within that duration. And to be unconscious, to live on autopilot, to squander your moments in distraction and delusion, is not merely a waste, it is, in a profound existential sense, a moral failure. Yes, a moral failure, because you are gifted the most valuable, unpurchasable commodity, conscious moments, and to squander them is an act of supreme negligence against the self. It's a rejection of your unique opportunity to be. We judge murderers for taking life, but what about those who, through chronic unconsciousness, allow their own life to be taken by the relentless drain of unlived moments? We condemn theft, but what about the constant theft of your present by your own past regrets and future anxieties? The hidden secret is not just that time is valuable, it's that your responsibility to be conscious within time is the highest call of your existence. This is not about being productive, it's about being present. It's about infusing every mundane act, eating, walking, listening, with the full weight of your awareness. It's about dismantling the societal narratives that tell you success is external, when the truest success lies in the internal richness of your lived moments. The universe doesn't care about your job title, your bank balance, or your social media followers. It cares only that this brief, miraculous flicker of consciousness, this spark of you, fully experiences the impossible gift of existence. This is the ultimate challenge, to stop being a temporal ghost in your own life, to break free from the societal trance that glorifies constant doing over conscious being, to recognize that the only true, unassailable wealth you possess is the quality of the conscious second you are living. You definitely weren't the problem. You were targeted, intentionally, calculatedly, silently. You were chosen, not because something was wrong with you, but because something was right with you, because you cared, because your heart was open, because you listened when others talked, because you offered compassion, even when you were the one hurting, because you believed in people, because you gave chances, because you saw potential in places others ignored. You were targeted, because you had light, and they wanted to dim it. You had warmth, and they wanted to drain it. You had loyalty, and they wanted to own it. You had hope, and they wanted to twist it into something that served them. They didn't come for your weakness, they came for your strength. They knew you wouldn't walk away easily. They knew you'd stay, try, fix, understand. They knew you'd hurt yourself just to keep the peace. They knew you'd shrink before you ever made them uncomfortable. They knew, and they used it all. But now you know too. And that changes everything. Now you stop explaining yourself to people who refuse to hear you. You stop begging for honesty from mouths built to lie. You stop handing out grace to those who treat it like currency. You stop folding your worth just to fit into rooms that were never built for you. You stop shrinking to make others feel tall. You stop editing your truth to protect someone else's comfort. You stop apologizing for noticing what your soul has always known. You stop dancing for people who only clap when you're bleeding. You stop playing the game because now you see it, the patterns, the manipulation, the emotional sleight of hand. You see the confusion wasn't accidental. The silence wasn't forgetfulness. The inconsistency wasn't human error. It was all deliberate. And now you're done. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You don't need them to understand. You just need yourself, the real you, the one you buried, to keep their love, the one you softened, to make them feel strong, the one you quieted, so their chaos could be loud. You get her back, you get him back, you get you back, piece by piece, day by day, truth by truth. You reclaim your mind. No more letting them live rent-free in your thoughts. No more wondering what they think, what they feel, what they meant. Now you ask, what do I feel? What do I want? What do I need? You reclaim your time. No more wasted years, spiraling in cycles you didn't create. No more investing in people who see you as a mirror, not a soul. You reclaim your voice. No more silence when you're hurting. No more pretending it didn't matter. No more swallowing truth to keep fragile egos intact. You reclaim your worth, not because someone finally gave it to you, but because it was always yours. You've been used for your love, used for your patience, used for your ability to see the good in broken people who had no intention of changing, used for your stability, used for your forgiveness, used for your silence. But now you see it, and that one shift, that one sharp soul-splitting realization, that's enough to burn the whole illusion to ash. That's enough to free you.